Hey everybody, in today's video I want to show you something I just picked up. It's something that I didn't really need, but I've always wanted it, but it's always been a little bit too expensive for me, but I finally found it for the right price. And it is this big old box. This is the Beatles Remasters. This is the stereo vinyl box. And this is released in 2012, and it's, of course, sourced from the 2009 remasters. And I'm sure a lot of you have, if you've watched my videos, you know how I feel about these '09 remasters. I don't think they're the best as far as the sound quality goes for if listening to the Beatles. I think there are far better pressings. I think they kind of overcooked the bass a little bit, has a little bit of inauthentic bass. But at the same time, I do think they are enjoyable, and I think they are worth owning if you're a Beatles fan, as I'm sure a lot of you are out there. And if you're a Beatles collector, like I am, then having this box set is really kind of essential to any Beatles collection. Now, like I said, this came out in 2012, and since 2012, I have acquired all of these albums individually, and they're in my collection over here. All this shelf right here, all the top, this is all Beatles. And within those records are the individual pressings of this box set. And for most of them, I have two different pressings. I have the European pressings that were, I think, made in Germany, and then the US pressings that were made at Rainbow Records. Now, this box set right here is a US pressed box set, pressed at Rainbow Records. And if you have any knowledge of when these first came out, you will probably know that there were a lot of pressing problems with the US versions of this box. Luckily, my box was pristine, perfect. I've listened to all the records now, and they all are, as far as the pressing quality, they were done exceptionally well. None of them are off center, no skips, no excess vinyl bits within the records. Everything turned out really good. So, like I said, when it came out in 2012, I bought all the albums individually. I didn't buy the box because it was really expensive, and it just wasn't something I was interested in at that time. Flash forward to now, and I found this box online, and I got this for $100. Now, in my opinion, that's exactly what I was willing to pay for this box. And the really cool thing about this is that, so it's missing the slipcase that goes over it. There was like a cardboard slipcase that would slide down over it. And the other thing that's going against it is this actual box has a little bit of damage. I don't know if you can see right here, but there's like a little bit of a ding in the side there. There's a ding in the corner here. The bottom edge is a little bit worn, and it's just got a little bit of imperfections all over the box itself. But when I bought it, all of the albums and the book inside were sealed. So to me, that was a great deal, because really I just want what's inside the box. And as long as the box looks halfway presentable, I'm cool with it. So I was really happy with this. And there's one thing in this box that absolutely kind of blew my mind, and I wouldn't have known about it unless I got the actual box. And it's the book that comes inside here. The book is amazing, and I'm so glad that I got this box just for the book alone, because the book is really cool. So, by the way, I also brought out my blue box just to kind of, I don't think I've ever shown my blue box on camera before, but this is my blue box. This is from 1978, and it's a UK, obviously, blue box. So I was going to talk about, after I show you the contents of this, give a comparison of the two boxes. But first, let's crack this thing open. So, I'll give you a full 360 view of this box. There's the front, the side, the back with the apple cut in half, and a little bit of legal information down there, and the other side. So now, when you open this box up, this opens like this, and the box is very sturdy, I should say. Very nice box. So when you open up, it opens like that, and you have this little piece of felt. I don't know if it's felt, but whatever it is, it's that kind of squishy packing stuff. It goes on the top. And when you open it up, you can see the albums, and the book is in front. Now this is exactly how it was when I bought it, except everything was sealed, and I've taken all the obviously all the plastic off. And I will show you first the book, and the book is really heavy and really, really nicely made. So here is the book, very, very thick, very, very nice, and it has this like really nice like sheen to it, which is very, very cool. Now the book, it's not just, you know, a copy of the liner notes that were included in the CDs of the '09 remasters. It's got its own stuff, new information written by Kevin Howlett, who's done a lot of the newish Beatles stuff. A lot of great photos, just really done in a great, great way. And I had no idea that was what was inside this book. I knew there was a book in this box, but I didn't know how good it was, and it's excellent. So I highly recommend the book. And I'll kind of show you a little bit of what's inside. There's like Sgt. Pepper. And as you can see, certain images like have a little bit of a gloss to them, and the other stuff's kind of like a more of a matte finish. There's like Magical Mystery Tour, and it's cool because you get like this famous photo, but you get it uncropped, and you get to see a lot more, and they're in really, really great detail. Just a very, very cool looking book. So that's the book, which, like I said, I think is worth the price of admission alone. Then you get the albums. And, you know, I'll show you the albums just because why not? You get Please Please Me. And obviously this is the stereo box set. I'm not going to take the actual albums out. You know what they look like. There's Please Please Me. Here is With the Beatles. And the stereo mix of With the Beatles is not very good, in my opinion. Here's Hard Day's Night. And the stereo mix of Hard Day's Night is actually very good. Here's Beatles for Sale. And I think Beatles for Sale, by the way, might be the best, the most improved album within this set. The stereo mix for Beatles for Sale is really, really great. I really like it a lot. So I do like this pressing of Beatles for Sale. It's not my favorite pressing of Beatles for Sale, but I like the pressing in this box. Here is Help. Here is Rubber Soul. You got Revolver. Sgt. Pepper. Magical Mystery Tour, which is very cool to have. The White Album. Yellow Submarine. Abbey Road. Now, I would have, when I organize my Beatle albums, I include, after Yellow Submarine, I always have Let It Be. But in this box, they have Abbey Road next, which is all right, I suppose. But really, Abbey Road was the last Beatles album recorded as a full album. Then you get Let It Be. And, of course, Past Masters. So, and it, of course, has another piece of like foam in there to protect everything. But overall, this is a very, very nicely done box set. The records all look really, really great. It feels very, very sturdy. It doesn't feel cheap at all. And there's just something really, really cool about having all of these remasters all together in one box. And yeah, like I said, I have them all already. And, you know, I didn't need this box set in any way, but the book, excellent. So I'm really, really glad I got this just for the book alone. Let me put the book back in here. And that's the box. Now, let's talk about the blue box here, released in 1978. Mine actually is from 78. UK blue box. Now, I will say one thing. I prefer, off the bat already, I prefer this box to this box, just in the sense of the box itself and how it looks. This one's cool. It does have Beatles signatures, which is kind of neat to have on the front. But as far as the actual overall look, this box is much cooler. I like the way it opens up. It has all the albums right there. This one's got kind of a weird flap where it folds forward and then it folds up. Then you get the albums within there like this. Now, my blue box right now isn't full because I have some of these pressings within my collection over here, but then I have some of the albums in here, like the ones that I don't really like the sound of the pressing all that much. I keep them inside the blue box just to give a little bit of weight, like Please Please Me, With the Beatles, Help, etc. But so that's just the boxes. Now I prefer the remaster box over the blue box. That's about as far as it goes in the sense of what I prefer with this one over this one. The sound quality overall of the records, I hand down prefer the blue box. The blue box, it was just done in a much better way. There was no digital processing involved whatsoever in the pressing of these records and the cutting of the records. It was just done in a pretty close and true way to the original way that the records were pressed in the 1960s when the Beatles were active as a band. That cannot be said for these remasters, of course. These remasters were digitally remastered. Yes, they were digitally remastered from the original analog stereo master tapes, which is great. But they were digitally remastered, digitally EQ'd. They were a lot of extra bass was added, and when I say extra bass is added, as far as EQing, they kind of beefed up the bass, and it has, in my opinion, an inauthentic bass sound to it. The blue box has way more of that pure, just analog bass that you can only find on a really, really nicely pressed record. So when it comes to which box, if I had to just listen to a box, I would definitely listen to the blue box all day over the this black box of the remasters. That being said, of course, the blue box, while it has a lot of really great pressings of the Beatles albums, it doesn't have all the albums, the best pressings that I love, like the German pressing of Revolver that I love, the German pressing of Magical Mystery Tour that I love, the American Let It Be pressing on Capitol Records that I think is absolutely great. So the list goes on and on. But if I had to just only have a Beatles box of their stereo material, I would choose the blue box. Also, the blue box does not include any type of extras at all. You just get the albums, no booklet, nothing extra like that at all. Which, of course, this box, you do get the amazing book and the really, really nice box. So anyway, those are just my ideas and my thoughts on this remastered stereo box set on vinyl, and a little bit about the blue box as well. But overall, I'm really, really happy to have this in my collection. And by the way, it's very, very heavy. Very, very solid. I probably said that a million times. You're probably annoyed with hearing me say that it's so solid, but it really is. Anyway, very happy with my purchase. And I'd love to know in the comments what you think about this box and the blue box. Do you own both the blue box and the remaster? And I'm sure a lot of you out there are probably screaming at YouTube right now, talk about the mono vinyl box set. I don't have the mono vinyl box set. I hope one day to have it. It goes for insane amounts of money online, but I do have all the mono albums individually in my collection. So I'm lucky there, but I don't have the box. Someday, hopefully I will. But I do love the mono box set. I think it's amazing. But as far as this having the Beatles albums in stereo, it's pretty much down to these two boxes and the Mobile Fidelity box, but we won't get into that whole thing. So really, when it comes to the boxes, it's the blue box or the black box. Which do you prefer? I'd love to hear in the comments below which one you like, if you own them both, if you only own one. You know, tell me about it. Anyway, that's it for now. Stay tuned. More records coming to my website, needlebeatsvinyl.com, including Beatles records, including Sgt. Pepper, the White Album, Beatles for Sale, Let It Be, coming to the website very, very soon, within the next couple of days. So stay tuned and take care, and bye for now.